Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. Hooping and hollering. I'm Elizabeth Petruccione, your hostess, and tonight we're going to be talking about portion control. One of my very hardest things that I have is portion control. But first, I'd like to have a little celebration, is that this month, and maybe even this day, is my 11th year on maintenance of losing 93 pounds. I know, so I can't believe it myself. Believe me, I lost 90 pounds before, twice, let alone 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so many times you can't imagine. So I think I'm on to a way that I can eat that works for me. And it doesn't work for everyone, but it will work. You know, everybody has to find their own way. But we do have to keep portions in control. That's for sure. And I think no matter whether you try, eating like forks over knives, or what was that, Felicia? What's your book called? Live, Love.
Skinny chicks don't eat salad.
Skinny chicks don't eat salad. Well, she lost 3.4 pounds, so this is a very, but I think that whenever you are trying something new, I think you're more diligent. You know, like they say, I'm going to do Mediterranean, let's say. So now everything in my house will be geared toward that. I'm very selective about what I'm eating because I'm following that program. So I think that kind of helps a little bit. And so whatever you want to try is fine with me as long as it works for you and you never go under 1,200 calories. I don't care. You could try anything you want. It's just that you shouldn't just have, 6 Snickers bars, or if that ever could be a way to lose weight, it would be right up my alley. So anyway, we're talking about portion control, and I have to say the meetings this week were hilarious on portion control. One of the things was never eat out of a box. The very second I said it, one of the ladies told me that she was eating honey bunch of cereal, honey bunch of oats, or sugar-coated. It was a sugar-coated one, though. Right out of the box. She took the box right into the TV and was just eating out of the box, like by the handfuls. Now, why would you think that she would do that?
Boredom.
I say boredom. I would imagine boredom would be right there with the reason why. But I was like, then, not only did it have all that sugar in it, but it had all that salt in it and all those preservatives. And you know how I feel about preservatives. So it had all of this bad stuff in it, and she would have been so much better off with what else? It's like popcorn or fruit or yogurt or so many other really tasty things. Not like that was not, after a few bites of cereal, aren't you kind of done with it? You have a bowl of cereal, you're kind of done with it. It's not something I want to eat a lot of.
Maybe she was just craving to chew and to
mindless eating.
Mindless
eating, right.
And crunching, I think maybe the crunching part. So we're all getting air popcorn makers. We're gonna really go for that. So when I said never eat out of the box, you could see her go, Because immediately it was her who was doing that. Have you ever done? Now you've changed that.
I changed. I used to take the box too, but now if I want a snack, I just put it in a little dish and bring my dish into the living room.
Right. How do you not go back and get more?
I made up my mind that I'm not going to do that because I get myself in trouble.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
In big trouble.
That was that. Those are two big changes that
Yeah,
you've made,
yeah.
which makes a big difference. One of the ladies was telling me also that she's lost 25 pounds in about 18 weeks. So a little over a pound a week, I think, which is really great. She cannot believe how much better she feels. And the two 80-year-olds that I have in my class, one lost 30 pounds, one lost 50. They are in such good shape. We keep thinking, oh, well, at a certain age, maybe, so whatever. But it's not true. They really are. One of them is a gardener, and I'm telling you, you should see her garden. It is beautiful, and she is able to do it. And it's up and down a embankment
Wow.
with dahlias, and
I figured by the time I'm 80, I could eat anything I want.
This is what I was thinking. But she actually, what she did was she found, she cut her, her meat intake and started eating more, less dairy, less meat, and more beans and more vegetables and more fruit. And that worked for her. And nothing had ever worked for her, and she had tried everything. But she read that book, Forks Over Knives, and it did the trick. But I think it was because she was aware of what she was eating, more aware. So what about eating out of the box? Do you ever?
No, that's not one of my pitfalls. That's not
Thank
one of-
God, right? Thank God that is
Thanks for giving me an idea.
cartons. No, you know what mine
Ice
is?
cream.
Yeah.
Sleeve, a sleeve.
Sleeve.
I have a lot of problem with
Yeah,
the sleeve.
yeah.
The sleeve of Ritz crackers, the
Bad.
sleeve of Thin Mints, the sleeve of, and don't you know, one of the girls ever so thoughtfully, I'm very grateful, brought in a platter of cookies and scones
Oh.
for my house, so that the boys would have food, treats. Well, please, I mean, come on.
Boys, yeah.
I know, it's really, I have to figure out how not to have that. Have healthy snacks in sight. That's why I always have popcorn and grapes ready to go. They're cooked, it's ready, it tastes delicious. I'm not, I'm not deprived. I always have something there. So while I'm watching TV, I can do that. Use vegetables to fill up your plate. Now, how does that work? That's a good one, right? In your thing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
When
I made that fettuccine Alfredo and I filled that plate up with broccoli and then a little tiny bit of chicken and then the pasta on the top that was made into the fettuccine Alfredo. Honestly, it could not have been a better treat. I can't even tell you how good it was. What was one of the best meals you had this week that you felt was very healthy?
I would say probably the there were a couple of different ones. I would say probably the salmon with a sweet potato and
My hands down
salad
favorite.
and salad.
Yeah.
With a homemade dressing.
Right. And what was the homemade dressing?
It was made with oil and Dijon mustard
Oh,
and a
that's
little bit of vinegar. It's really good.
That's
and
one of my
garlic.
That's one of my favorite dressings ever. That little bit of mustard, you'd be surprised. Well, you probably know all about that, having been in the food industry. That's one of the best dressings ever. And you don't need a lot of oil. What about you, Ann? Any particular?
Last night I had chicken and sweet potato and Brussels sprouts.
I love sweet potatoes.
I do too.
What are they? A little sprinkle of walnuts in your sweet
Yeah,
potato.
yeah.
What a treat that
Oh,
is.
yeah.
And they're on
And
the
I
top
love sweet
12 list
potatoes.
of best things to eat. Anything particular? Anyone?
Cod, sweet potato, and broccoli.
How do you make the cod?
with a little olive oil, garlic powder, fake salt, and pepper.
Fake salt. What's that?
No salt.
Oh, is that what it's actually called? No
Mhm.
salt? Oh,
Just when you need a little bit of something.
I
And
put
never
the
use salt.
horseradish sauce on
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit of pancos and bake that.
Sometimes I slice tomatoes, onions, and peppers and put it right on top and bake it.
Please. How about salsa?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just to make it easy. You know what's really good with that white fish? Any of those white fishes? Fishes, is that what you say, or just white fish? Is baked tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just put a little breadcrumbs, garlic, onion powder, whatever you like, and you just bake it. It goes really great with the fish, and really low in calories, and really good for you. Okay. Know how big your bowl or plate are. You know, really honestly, we have to start. I have a friend who lost over 100 pounds, and she's kept it off for like 20 years. I'm starting to think, wow, I'm catching up to her. But she only uses small bowls, small plates, and children's utensils.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
I don't know if I.
I don't know about this. Because her spoon, honestly, is so small. It's a baby spoon. But you know what? It works for her.
Whatever works, like you said, whatever works.
Whatever works. So that's what we have to start to think. What will work for us? What's the best thing that ever worked for us? For me, it was keeping my calories between 12 and 15 during the week, and whatever on the weekends. I can't even discuss that. But that's what worked for me. But not everybody's the same. So, do you try using a smaller plate? Because it is a visual aid that I cannot believe. Yeah, really. Because don't you like to see your plate look like you have, it looks like you've got a ton of food on it? Because really, if we go into a restaurant, you know the size of the plate.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like, what are those plates that go underneath plates? You know, the
Charters.
charters. Chargers. Yeah, that's the size of plates now. They're ridiculous, and they're absolutely full. I went to a restaurant that my girlfriend goes to all the time, and I went with her, and I said, well, I'll have lamb chops, because I knew I would eat one lamb chop, and it only came with mashed potatoes and vegetables and a salad. Okay, there was no, deviation from any of that. They didn't have baked potatoes. So I said, okay, my plate was like this. The lamb chops were like this, and there were 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
Who could ever eat 3 lamb chops?
Definitely.
But it was so unbelievable, the amount of food, that it made me laugh. Because I looked at it and I was like, this is enough food in my house. All 3 of us could eat this meal. And I had just a little bit of it all, but their salad was so delicious that by the time, I got to the lamb chop, that was the big treat. But I could not believe how much food it was. I mean, who serves 3 lamb chops?
Right.
Everybody, really? I never ordered them out, but I just decided this one night, I'm just going to have lamb chops and whatever. But I think we should start looking at the size of our plate and our bowls, simply because it would be a good idea for us to get an idea of what works for us.
Right.
Does it work for your plate to look really full? Because if I put it on a big plate and I put a chicken breast, like the size of, well, let's just say the size of an iPod or your phone, that's a chicken breast, and then you have a potato that's the size of a mouse. You're not a mouse. A computer mouse, right? And then you have vegetables. I don't care how much vegetable you're putting on there. It looks like there's no food at all. But if I put it on a cake plate, which is what I love to say, a cake plate, because that's not the little one, that's this one. It looks like a lot of food, and it's really good. So we should all try that. How about focus on your meals? Really, honest to God, I cannot believe that we are watching TV, we are looking at our phone, we are checking out Facebook, we are texting our friends, we are doing everything but doing the very thing that we enjoy more than anything in the world. Don't tell me that food isn't right up there in the top 5 things you love to do. Am I right about that? It might even be number 1 in most of our books. So if it's so important to us, if we like food so much, why aren't we concentrating on eating it? What deters you from doing that?
Time.
Time. But I mean, a good meal that you eat slowly could last 20 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm not that's I think we need to make time for ourselves. I can understand you need your quick breakfast and maybe you have to have a fast lunch, but can't dinner be 20 minutes? And just a little like on the civil side. I mean, I remember eating just shoveling the food in where I would not even know that I was full yet. And eating too much simply because I didn't know that. So I think focusing on the meals. Now I remember, don't stand up and eat. Never stand up and eat. That's a bad one. But I remember this one lady would take a bite. She used to be in class. She would take a bite, then she would go and throw some laundry in. Then she would come back, take another bite, go into the dishwasher.
Oh,
Then come back.
That would not be enjoyable to me.
That
Yeah.
would not be
And wouldn't her
enjoyable
food
to
get
me at
cold?
all.
Yeah.
I would think.
But you know what? The other part of it was, and then one
It's not a
lady,
chore.
You're right.
it's a chore. But she loved food, and the other lady was so busy getting up and down for her grown children, who couldn't get their own milk or
Oh.
soda or wine if they're grown children, or the salt and pepper wasn't on the table. Well, what are you, a waitress?
I know, really.
That's more than a food problem.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
more
right.
than a food problem.
Right.
But that's
Yeah,
how
exactly.
that's exactly how she did it. She never, and I finally got her to sit down at the table, and one of the kids said, "I don't have any milk." But she didn't say anything. She just kept eating, and he got up and got the milk.
Good
And
for
then
him. That's what he should be
something
doing.
else happened in that dinner, and one of the daughters got up and got what she needed. And after dinner was over, the kids said to the mom, "Mom, it was so nice having you at the table tonight."
Wow.
They weren't really expecting it. They would say, they weren't telling her, "Get me some milk and I need salt and pepper." They weren't doing stuff like that. She was, "Oh, I need some milk." Up. No, really. All of us would sit there if somebody would jump every single time. Well, I wouldn't do that because I would be really wanting them to enjoy their dinner with me.
I'm usually the jumper.
Yeah, and you have to stop doing that. Your children are old enough to get up and get their own stuff. I need a little bit more sauce.
They don't expect it either.
No, I know. Your children are wonderful. They don't expect it at all. So why would you continue to do it? It's habit.
To let them sit down and enjoy it.
Because you don't deserve to enjoy it.
No.
Because you're Greek.
Maybe.
Because you're close to Italian. That is my Italian mothers and my Greek two women that are from Greece. They cannot believe their aunts. Their aunts from mothers. They never sit down and eat ever.
I don't remember my mother ever sitting down to eat with us. She was always in the kitchen cooking and cleaning, and she'd always eat afterwards. Yeah.
She would always eat by herself.
Afterwards, yeah.
Oh, oh, that's like
That's
you're.
sad.
Yeah,
I know
it
it.
is.
It's like you're the help on Downton Abbey or something.
I know.
So sad.
That's just the way.
You don't do
know.
that, right? No, I couldn't even imagine it.
No.
You're much too strong of a woman for that. Okay. Here's another good one. Buy your cravings when you crave them. Now, I had ladies who actually said to me in a driving snowstorm if they wanted a Snickers bar, obviously Snickers are my downfall. If they wanted a Snickers bar, they would get in their car and go get it.
Oh.
I'm thinking to myself, there's two ways I'm thinking. You wanted a Snickers bar so bad that you would get in the car and go drive and get it. That you really need to have a Snickers bar, right? That you would take your life in your hand. But that you would not be prepared with other things that might help you get through that. What is going on in your life that you have to get in the car in a driving snowstorm to go get a Snickers bar? I don't even get that for it.
No, me either.
How about putting, now, not when you have company, but what about when it's just you and your family? Do you put the serving bowls on the table or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not do that anymore. So, I mean, if you're having company or the kids are all coming over or, something like that, I say, yeah, sure, go ahead, put it on. But why would we need to? Your first plate is your only plate. You don't need seconds. And you know what? That brings me just to this little thought. During the week, I'll think one pork chop, one piece of chicken, one of this or one of, that is all okay. On the weekends, I think two is better. I can't help that. Since it's the way I lost my weight, it almost became a habit that I think I need to have more on the weekends. And I'm starting to work a little bit on the weekends because, when you work that hard to lose that much weight, you don't want to backslide. So you're definitely watching your habits to see what's going on. And I backslide. I gain 3 pounds. I have to lose 3 pounds. It happens to everybody. They say that you should dim the lights because it slows things down. But this was what I heard from the group of ladies this morning was, oh no, we could never do that because our husbands or boyfriends would be going, I can't see my food. Isn't that the truth? Come on, it's true. I don't understand why that is. We want it to be nice and, mellow and nice music. Don't have to be listening to, CSI Miami in the background, people screaming while I'm trying to have my dinner. I needed quiet, maybe soft music. I need it to be low light. I don't want any of that going on. So we really should think about that. But I love that idea of treating myself like company. That's sort of what it's like. Because how hard could it be? I haven't used a cloth napkin in my house in probably 15 years. I have paper napkin. I never use paper anymore. Because really, napkins are inexpensive. And they're so much nicer. Don't you feel better when you're using a real napkin? I just do. Brush your teeth when you're finished eating. Anybody ever try that? Yeah, I don't like to do that. Because, I'm going to brush my teeth eventually before I go to bed, of course.
Yeah, me too.
But what they're actually saying is what you want to do is change the taste that's in your mouth. When you are having, let's go to the salmon and the sweet potato just because. It's so delicious that you want more of it, even though you're full. You want more. So it would be better if you got the taste out of your mouth. What would you use? Anything? Was it gum? You're a gum chewer.
A dinner mint. You don't want just a little peppermint afterwards.
A little peppermint after. Not a whole thing of Junior Mint. No.
No, a hard candy that
I
takes
know,
a while to
like
go
an
away.
Altoid or something. Yes, exactly. Because what it's going to do is clean out the taste of the food that you were so enjoying. Understanding what a serving looks like, and that's when we come to what's behind me here. So a steak, 4 ounces of steak is 220 calories, 226 calories, and the size of your phone. Not your big phones, your little phones. More like your iPod Classic. So, you know, it's not that big. But you could see it right there. See that? I can't do it. I'm left-handed.
Right there, you go.
See it?
Yeah.
So you can see what it is. A piece of cheese. It has to be calorie-worthy cheese because cheese is, 105 calories for an ounce. Are you going to have American cheese? No. You're going to have some good cheese. Some Italian table cheese or some feta or some blue
Goat
cheese. Or what?
Goat cheese.
Yeah. You're not going to have, wax, cheese that you get at the store. Why would you waste your calories on something? Let's get that clear. Everything should be calorie worthy.
No cheese whiz.
Yeah, cheese is.
Like a bag of chips.
Yeah, everything should be calorie. Yeah, cheese whiz. Oh my gosh, brother.
And broccoli.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
When you could sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on and have the most delicious thing ever. Okay? Pancakes the size of DVDs, which is, pretty good pancake. A cup of pasta like this right here is 220 calories. Perfect. You could get away with that. A potato, like we said before, would be a mouse. 274 calories for 4 ounces of the thicker fish, like salmon or tuna or swordfish, those thicker fish. Now, whitefish is a little bit less, but it's still the size of a checkbook cover, which is over there. Nope, over here. I can't do it. Okay, butter is the size of a postage stamp. I know, right? Is the size of a postage stamp. Brown rice, which I never eat anymore, is the size of a baseball. A cup of beans is 199 calories, and it's the size of a light bulb. And then my favorite and our last one is 1 ounce of dark chocolate, which is 155 calories, but so good for you and so satisfying. That might be a really good one for the end of a meal. So this week, really watch your portions because that's really important. And if you do that, you will see success at the scale. I promise you that. All right, have a healthy week, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us. And by the way, check us out on Facebook, Losing Weight with Elizabeth. You'll find a lot of beautiful recipes, very delicious. Have a good week. Bye.
More whooping and hollering.
Oh my God, when you're describing food as broken glass and mice, it was like, ugh, that's enough to turn people off. With the brown rice, a bowl like a mouse.
No. Potato